Hi everyone, welcome to another reading wrap up. I don't know why September felt like such a long month to me, but I had a good reading month. I read 5 books, and even though I couldn't complete my TBR, I stuck to it pretty well, so points for me, I guess. And also, I had a 6-star read this month, so I'm pretty excited to talk about it. So yeah, let's just get started. Okay, so first I read Heavenly Bodies by Imani Aviu. I did a buddy read with Janessa. I'll put her Instagram somewhere right here. And this was my first ever buddy read, so I was kind of nervous about it, but Janessa is honestly one of the loveliest people I found on this app in this bookish communities, and I had such an amazing experience with her. Okay, so Heavenly Bodies. This follows our FMC Elara. She's a princess, and there's a prophecy that she's destined to fall in love with the King of Stars, and it will kill them both. And the stars are basically gods, and there are 12 of them, each with their own kingdoms. And when the King of Gods finds out about this prophecy, he decides to kill Elara, and there's this enemy kingdom that decides to give her refuge, and the prince is going to train her so she can protect herself against the King of Gods. And obviously they have their own agenda as well, but that's what the main plot is. Now this book blew me away because this is what a true romantasy looks like, at least to me, because this had the perfect ratio of fantasy to romance. This actually gave me that Akita feeling, if you know what I mean. Not because it's similar at all, because it's not. It's very different. But I'm talking about the fact that the world in here is so rich and immersive that I was completely lost in it. And there are many cultural references as well, like there are Greek-inspired names. There's a mention of a lovely bazaar inspired by Middle Eastern bazaars. There are myths, there are sirens, there are legends, so it doesn't let you get bored for even a second. Now the MMC Enzo, he is feral for Elara. He's playful, he's flirty, but he's also very dangerous, and he has that touch her and die energy, so he doesn't play about Elara. And I love Elara as well. She's very sweet and naive, but she also has a very sharp tongue, which makes the banter and tension between them very entertaining. Also, the side characters were very lovely, and there's this one particular side character. At first, Janessa and I were obsessing over him even more than the MMC, so that was nice. One thing I'll say is that we were theorizing so hard, and all the Easter eggs and theories were very fun, but there were some things at the end that felt like a total whiplash, so that's why I rated it 4.7 stars. Otherwise, at first it was a solid 5-star read for me. The ending was very devastating, and it ended on such a stressful cliffhanger that I'm dying to read the next book, and it's coming out in November, so I'm very excited for that. Next I read an arc. This is Unraveled by Abby Fox, and this was such a beautiful Beauty and the Beast retelling. It was action-packed from the start, so I was immediately hooked. The magic system was solid, and the plot, even though it's a retelling, it still felt very unique. Now this is a standalone. It was a very short read. I forgot how many pages it was, but on one hand it's nice that it was very fast-paced, but on the other hand I felt like I didn't get enough time to get very connected with the characters, which is a bummer because I love these characters. Even the side characters were very nice. I feel like if it was just a teeny bit longer, I would have enjoyed it even more. The romance and the banter was really nice. The world building was amazing. It was perfectly detailed without ever being overwhelming. Okay, next I read Blackwicket by Pia Northwick, and this was another arc. It follows our FMC Eleonora, and she's a curse eater. Curse eaters are basically people who remove curses from people. Her mom used to do the same, but she passed away, so this responsibility is on Eleonora's shoulders now. But she wants nothing to do with it, so she leaves the town and tries to live a somewhat normal life by hiding her true identity. Plot was very promising in this one, and I was a big fan of the writing. The writing was very nice. This had a very dark and haunting atmosphere. I liked the whole concept of curses and curse eating, but this might be a me problem, but I had a difficult time understanding the magic system. It was interesting, but it felt a bit complex to wrap my head around. There was some deep family trauma. It was kind of traumatizing. And everyone in this was morally gray, so it was a nice read overall, and I enjoyed it, even though I was a bit traumatized. At this point, I sensed an incoming reading slump. So I was like, I need to read something that already has great reviews so I can cure this slump. And that's when I read this, and oh my god, this is my new obsession. It was such a roller coaster of emotions because this made me so happy and yet so sad at the same time. Like, I had the best time of my life while reading it, and at the end, it felt like someone stabbed a knife in my heart. I'm not gonna give a summary of this because it's best if you go blind into it, but trust me, you'll have the wildest journey of your life. So Bryn is our FMC and Aka is our MMC, and they had the most adorable relationship from the start. Banter and bickering between them was so funny, and they had such cute moments that I was giggling and kicking my feet the whole time. Also, the tension between them was so thick, I felt like I was third wheeling the whole time. I felt like I shouldn't be here. I'm trying very hard not to give spoilers, but there is an animal sidekick that I got obsessed with, so that was very unexpected. I was trying very hard to slow down while reading it because I was having such a good time that I wanted to savor it, and I really didn't want this book to end. And then the cliffhanger hit me like a train, and it made me so angry and sad, and I'm so mad at these characters, but I understand them and I love them with my whole heart, so I was very emotionally confused. There is a sneak peek from the second book, and that actually shattered my heart. This was the first time ever that I actually wanted to throw my book across the room. So yeah, do whatever you want with this information, but this is one of my top reads of 2025. I'm dying for the next book. Okay, last read of the month. We have an arc again. This is The Ascended by Greenwich and Lennox, and these are the same authors who wrote Riftborn and Dustbound. This follows our FMC Thais, who has spent all her life in hiding because in this world, having magic for mortals means that they'll be dragged to the divine realm and forced to compete in deadly trials so that they can ascend to godhead. But one day, due to a moment of weakness, Thais loses control of her magic and she's dragged to participate in these trials along with her twin brother, who by the way has no magic. And there she meets her mentor, Zul, who's the Prince of Death. He's a necromancer and he'll train her for these trials. Now this is just a summary, but the plot is honestly way deeper than that, and I devoured it. At first I thought it's gonna be a 5-star read, but when I hit the 60% mark, it became clear to me that this is gonna be a solid 6-star read for me, and it was. The plot is genius, and I haven't read the first 2 books in the series, but I can already tell that the authors built such an amazing interconnected universe, and I can't even begin to explain how amazing the world building was, because this is such an intricate world, but it's so well described that it's very easy to understand. The romance was chef's kiss, the yearning was too good, and there was a good amount of flirty tension and banter. The MMC is down pat for Thais, and he's completely and utterly devoted to her. Now the ending was so shocking, oh god. I need to binge the rest of the series, and even though it's a separate duology, if you plan to read the whole series, then I recommend reading it in order because there were some major spoilers in this one, but I'm still very excited and I think this series is gonna live in my head rent-free for a very long time. So that was all I read in September, and now I have a mini book haul for you guys. I got 3 books, and of course I got paperbacks because I love paperbacks. So the first book is On Wings of Blood by Bri Berlin. I have been dying to read this one, but I was waiting for the traditional paperback to be released because I love this cover. Then I have When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. Again, I've heard such good things about it. I love this cover, but I don't know if you can see on camera, but the silver writing is already coming off. So that's such a bummer, and I'm very annoyed about it. But yeah, I've got this. And last I got Enigma, and it came with a free bookmark. And this is the first book that is on my October TBR. I've been saving it for spooky season. And yeah, so this is the first book on my TBR. Next I have Nocticadia. I got this paperback back in June, I guess, but again, I've been saving it for my spooky season reads. So yeah, I'm very excited for this one. I've heard such good things about it. And next I have Anarch. This is Ravenbinder, and I've already started reading it and I'm enjoying it so far, so yeah. Lastly, I have Blood and Betrayals on my TBR. This was also on my TBR last month, but I didn't have the time to read it, so I'm gonna read it this month. So yeah, that was it. Let me know if you've read any of these books, and I hope you have a lovely reading month. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!